everybody, welcome to Brandy Shiloh Ministries 5 Minutes of Faith. Now hopefully you've been tuning into Brandy Shiloh Ministries Motivational Minute, where I've been giving you 60 seconds of quick motivation to get you through the day. Well, now I'm giving you 5 minutes of full of faith, encouragement, and inspiration to get you through the week. So this is our first 5 minutes of faith video. I'm excited. Grab a piece of paper and a pen and let's get ready to rock and roll. So today I want to talk to you about the godly principle called seed time and harvest. Now this principle is really premised on Genesis 8:22. Here's what's happening in Genesis 8:22. God has just wiped everything off the face of the earth except Noah, his family, and all of the animals in the ark. So when the ark landed and Noah left the ark to go and pray and worship God, God made a covenant to him. And here's what he says. He says, so long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, night and day shall never cease. So what God is saying is, he's making a covenant to Noah and to us, saying that so long as the earth continues to rotate on its axis, he's always going to make sure that we have an opportunity to sow, which means we'll have an opportunity to reap. He's always going to make sure that the seasons change, and he's always going to make sure that the sun rises and sets. So how does that apply to you and I? It applies because, family, every day, all day, we are sowing, which means every day, all day, we're reaping. We sow with our thoughts, our actions, and our words. And what we sow, we will also reap. So in today's 5 minutes of faith video, I want to concentrate on the seed. So remember, this principle is seed time and harvest. Today I want to talk to you about the seed. Next week I'm going to talk to you about harvest, and after that I'm going to talk to you about the time, which is the period of time between the time that you sow and you reap. So here's the thing that you need to know about your seed. One is that it's got to be an intentional seed. Your seed has to be intentional. So what does that mean? That means if you are praying to God for this harvest over here, then you need to be real intentional about the seed that you're sowing to make sure that it's in alignment with your harvest. Here's my example. If you are praying to God for a peach tree, oh Lord, just give me a peach tree. I just want a peach tree in my backyard because I love peaches. But then you go and you sow an apple seed, you're not going to get a peach tree. Because an apple seed will yield an apple tree as your harvest. But a peach seed is what's going to yield a peach tree as your harvest. So that same principle applies to whatever it is that we are praying to God about. Whatever it is that we are believing for him to do for us. In other words, if I'm believing God for debt cancellation in my life, if that's the harvest that I want to reap is debt cancellation, wipe out all of my debt, then I can't sow seeds of buying every new and greatest and latest thing that comes out. Because that seed, spending money and buying something, is not going to yield me the harvest of debt cancellation. Same thing applies with a job. If you're praying to God for a job, well then you've got to sow the right seeds to get the right job. You're praying to God for a husband or for a wife, well then you need to sow the right seed to get you a husband or a wife. And intentionality about your seed is also important, and here's why. We can unintentionally sow the wrong seed. For example, with my thoughts and with my words, if I sow bitterness, I'm going to reap bitterness. If I sow jealousy, I'm going to reap jealousy. Be intentional about your seed because every second of the day, we're constantly sowing. Listen, this has been Brandy Shiloh Ministries 5 Minutes of Faith. We're talking about this godly principle of seed time and harvest. It applies to every day of our lives, and it's something that we can use in order for us to really live out the life that God wants us to live out. Seed time and harvest. I'll see you next week. We're going to talk about your harvest. Be blessed.